Welcome to the first episode of the Moon and Stars podcast. I'm your host, Art Bell, and with me is my co-host, Dagoth, who will be in after the break. Today, we'll be discussing a mysterious occurrence in the town of Rosedale, Indiana. Eyewitnesses reported seeing strange, glowing orbs hovering above the town. Some claim that they saw figures moving inside the orbs. According to local sources, the orbs appeared after a thunderstorm and they stayed in the sky for several hours before disappearing. No one knows what these orbs were, but some speculate that they might have been alien spacecraft. We'll also be taking listener call-ins, so if you've had any paranormal experiences or have any theories about what these orbs might be, give us a call. Our number is 1-800-555-11212. Later in the show, we'll have a special guest joining us from a different dimension. Our guest is an exohumanid who has had experience with interdimensional travel. They'll be telling us about their world and answering any questions you may have. But first, let's discuss some recent news about the silver glass effect. It seems that the portals are opening up more frequently, and the creatures that are coming through are getting more dangerous. We've received reports of dragons and trolls roaming the countryside, and there have been several incidents of magic users causing chaos in cities. What do you think this means for our world? Are we on the brink of a magical apocalypse, or is this just the beginning of a new era for humanity? Give us a call and let us know your thoughts. Stay tuned for more paranormal news and call-ins on the Moon and Stars podcast. And welcome back to Moon and Stars, the paranormal news and call-in podcast. I'm your host, Art Bell, and joining me as always is my co-host, the mysterious and enigmatic Dagoth.
Greetings, Art. It is a pleasure to be here.
So, Dagoth, I hear you have some interesting news to share with us today.
Indeed, Art. As you know, the silver glass effect has been causing all sorts of strange phenomena here on our Earth, bringing together multiple dimensions and realities. But I have recently received word of an unusual occurrence that has caught my attention.
Do tell, Dagoth. I'm on the edge of my seat.
It seems that a group of adventurers from the world of Final Fantasy have stumbled upon a portal leading to our world. They are currently residing in the city of New York, and their presence has caused quite a stir among the locals.
Wow, that's incredible. Have you had a chance to speak with these adventurers, Dagoth?
Unfortunately, not yet. But I am hoping to make contact with them soon and learn more about their experiences in our world.
That would be amazing. And who knows what other fantastic beings and creatures are out there just waiting to be discovered. It's truly a remarkable time to be alive.
Indeed, Art, the possibilities are endless.
Well, speaking of possibilities, it looks like we have a caller on the line. Caller, you're on the air with Art and Dagoth. What's on your mind?
Hi, this is Karen from Pennsylvania. I just wanted to say that I've been a longtime fan of the show, and I'm really excited about all the new paranormal events happening in the world. But I'm also a bit scared. Do you think we're in danger from all these otherworldly creatures?
That's a valid concern, Karen. But I believe that the more we learn about these creatures and their worlds, the better equipped we'll be to handle any potential threats. And who knows, maybe some of these beings will even turn out to be friendly.
And besides, Karen, we must remember that we ourselves are a part of this multiverse. We have our own strengths and abilities that we can use to defend ourselves and explore this new world.
Wow, I never thought of it like that. Thanks for the perspective, guys.
No problem, Karen, and thanks for the call. We have time for one more call before we go to a quick commercial break. Who's on the line?
Hi, Art. This is Tom from Albuquerque.
Hi, Tom. What's on your mind tonight?
Well, I was just wondering, with all this talk about multiverses and parallel universes, Is it possible that there's a universe out there where everything is exactly the same as here, but just slightly different?
The concept of the mirror universe. It is a possibility, Tom. In fact, some theories suggest that there are an infinite number of universes, each with slight variations on our own reality.
That's wild. So there could be a universe out there where I'm the one hosting this show and you guys are the callers?
It's possible, Tom. The multiverse is a vast and mysterious place.
And it's not just limited to slight variations. There could be universes out there with completely different physical laws and even different forms of life.
That's mind-boggling. Thanks for the insight, guys.
No problem, Tom. Thanks for the call. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we'll continue our discussion on the multiverse and take more of your calls. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. Before the break, we were discussing the multiverse and the possibility of infinite universes. Now, let's shift the conversation to another fascinating topic, gods and goddesses in relation to the multiverse. What do you think, Dagoth?
Yes, gods and goddesses. It's a subject that has been debated for centuries in various cultures and religions. The idea of a supreme being or beings that created and govern the universe is intriguing. But in the context of the multiverse, the question arises, are there different gods and goddesses for each universe?
That's an interesting question, Tom. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I believe that if there are infinite universes, then it's certainly possible that there are different gods and goddesses for each universe. But at the same time, I also believe that there could be some sort of overarching force that governs the entire multiverse.
I agree with Tom. It's possible that there are different gods and goddesses for each universe, but there could also be some sort of higher power that connects all the universes.
That's a fascinating point of view. Dagoth, what's your take on this?
From my perspective, I believe that there could be multiple gods and goddesses for each universe, each with their own unique abilities and characteristics. However, I also believe that there could be a higher power that oversees the entire multiverse, ensuring balance and order across all the universes.
That's a great perspective. We have a caller on the line. Caller, what's your take on gods and goddesses in relation to the multiverse?
Hi, this is John. I believe that there could be different gods and goddesses for each universe. But at the same time, I also think that the idea of gods and goddesses could be a human construct. Maybe there's no actual higher power or beings that govern the universe.
That's an interesting thought, John. Do you think that the idea of gods and goddesses is just a way for humans to explain the mysteries of the universe?
Yes, that's possible. I mean, throughout history, humans have always tried to make sense of things that we don't fully understand. Maybe the idea of gods and goddesses is just our way of trying to explain the multiverse.
Thank you for your perspective, John. That's a fascinating point of view. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll continue our discussion on gods and goddesses in relation to the multiverse. Don't go anywhere, folks. Welcome back, everyone. We're continuing our discussion on the multiverse and its relationship to gods and goddesses. We've had some fascinating insights from our callers earlier, but now let's turn our attention to the topic of religion. How does the concept of the multiverse fit into traditional religious beliefs?
That's a great question, Art. Many religions believe in the existence of multiple gods and goddesses, each with their own unique powers and domains. In a way, you could say that these gods and goddesses could represent different versions of reality within the multiverse.
Interesting. So, for example, the Greek gods and goddesses could represent a specific version of reality within the multiverse.
Precisely. And many other cultures have similar beliefs in multiple deities representing different aspects of reality.
Yes, that's possible. I mean, throughout history, humans have always tried to make sense of things that we don't fully understand. Maybe the idea of gods and goddesses is just our way of trying to explain the multiverse.
Yeah, I'm curious about that too. It seems like the idea of a single all-powerful god doesn't leave much room for multiple versions of reality.
That's a valid point, but I don't think it necessarily contradicts the idea of the multiverse. Just because a religion focuses on a single deity doesn't mean that other versions of reality can't exist within the multiverse. In fact, some theologians have argued that the concept of an all-knowing, all-powerful God actually makes more sense within a multiverse framework.
It's certainly an intriguing idea. We have another caller on the line. Welcome to the show. What's your question?
Hi, this is Rachel from New York. I'm curious about how the idea of the multiverse might impact the concept of an afterlife.
That's a fascinating question, Rachel. If the multiverse exists, it's certainly possible that there could be multiple versions of an afterlife, depending on which reality you end up in. In fact, some cultures already have similar beliefs in reincarnation or multiple levels of the afterlife.
Welcome back, folks. As promised, we have a special guest joining us today from a different dimension. Our guest is an exohumanid who has had experience with interdimensional travel. They'll be telling us about their world and answering any questions you may have. Welcome to the show, our special guest.
Thank you for having me, Art. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, can you tell us a little about yourself and your world?
Of course. I come from a world that is quite different from yours. We have different physical laws, and our planet is much larger than Earth. Our atmosphere is also different, which allows us to fly with ease.
That's incredible. How did you first discover interdimensional travel?
It's actually a common practice in my world. We've been exploring different dimensions for centuries. It's fascinating to see the different forms of life and civilizations that exist in the multiverse.
I can only imagine. So, what would you say is the biggest difference between your world and ours?
The biggest difference would have to be our understanding of the universe. We have a much deeper understanding of the underlying physics that govern the multiverse. We also have a much closer connection to the energy that permeates throughout all of existence.
That's really interesting. Can you give us an example of how that connection affects your everyday life?
Sure. We use this energy to power our technology and even our bodies. It allows us to do things that would seem impossible in your world, such as levitation and teleportation.
Incredible. So, do you think that there are other beings like yourself in the multiverse?
Absolutely. There are countless forms of life and civilizations out there. It's just a matter of discovering them.
Well, thank you for sharing your insights with us today. We've certainly learned a lot about the multiverse and the potential for interdimensional travel.
Thank you for having me, Art. It's been a pleasure.
And there you have it, folks, a truly fascinating discussion on the multiverse and the potential for interdimensional travel. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we'll be taking more of your calls. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Moon and Stars. Our topic tonight is the multiverse and the potential for interdimensional travel. We just had a fascinating discussion with our guest, the exohumanid, who shared with us some insights into their world and experiences with interdimensional travel. Now we're ready to take your calls.
Hi, Art. My name is Samantha, and I'm calling from California. I was just wondering, is it possible that there could be gods or goddesses in other dimensions? And if so, what could they be like?
Excellent question, Samantha. Let's ask our panel. What do you guys think?
Well, Samantha, the idea of gods and goddesses existing in other dimensions is certainly within the realm of possibility. If we consider the multiverse as an infinite realm of possibilities, then there could be entities that possess god-like abilities or qualities.
Wow, that's incredible to think about. But what would they be like? Would they have different forms or attributes compared to the gods and goddesses we know of in our own dimension?
Samantha, that's an excellent question. If we think about it, the gods and goddesses of our own dimension are shaped by the beliefs and cultures of the people who worship them. So it's not a stretch to imagine that gods and goddesses in other dimensions could also be shaped by the beliefs and cultures of their own societies.
That's a great point, Tom. And let's not forget that the physical laws of other dimensions could also shape the form and attributes of any godlike entities that exist there.
And if we think about it, the idea of gods and goddesses is not limited to just one culture or religion. There are countless gods and goddesses that have been worshipped throughout human history. So, it's entirely possible that there could be infinite variations of godlike entities across the multiverse.
Absolutely. And Samantha, to answer your question more directly, it's difficult to say exactly what gods or goddesses in other dimensions could be like. It all depends on the cultures, beliefs, and physical laws of their respective dimensions.
That makes sense. Thank you for answering my question, Art.
No problem, Samantha. Thank you for the call.
Thank you for joining us tonight, everyone. It's been a fascinating discussion, and I hope we've provided some new perspectives on the multiverse and interdimensional travel.
Yes, thank you to all of our callers and our special guests for joining us tonight. Remember, the possibilities are endless when it comes to the multiverse, and we may never know all the answers, but it's always exciting to explore.
That's right, Art. And as we continue to discover more about the multiverse and the possibilities it holds, we must always remember to approach it with an open mind and a sense of wonder.
Absolutely, Dagoth. And with that, we'll be signing off for tonight. Thank you again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Moon and Stars. Good night, everyone.
Good night, all.